Hey, welcome back to Bella Eats. I have been playing Gordon Ramsay's Chef Blast and I unlocked a recipe for beef Wellington, and today we are going to make it. Okay, so the recipe calls for two 14-ounce beef fillets. I went to 3 different stores and I could not find beef fillet. And I finally went to the butcher at one of the stores, and this was the beef that he recommended I use for this recipe. So this is what I have. So number one in Gordon Ramsay's recipe is to wrap each piece of beef tightly in a triple layer of cling film to set the shape, then chill overnight. So grab our fillet. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. I hope that is wrapped tightly enough. So I have 2 beefs that have been wrapped. And it says to let them chill overnight. So we are going to let these chill overnight and we'll be back tomorrow to finish the recipe. Okay, it is the next day. Welcome back. We are going to finish making the beef Wellington today. So the next step is to sear the beef in a hot pan. So we have our pan warming up. Okay, as y'all can see, I got my pan nice and hot, and it says sear with a little bit of olive oil. So we're going to add the olive oil to our pan. And I got my pan real nice and hot, as you can see. And in the directions, it says remove film, sear in a hot pan with olive oil for 30 through 60 seconds until browned all over and rare. So let's do exactly that. I hope that's the sound that we want to hear. Okay, that's 30 to 60 seconds. We're gonna turn it over. Okay, it says until brown all over, so I'm assuming that means the sides as well. So we're gonna do the sides for 30 through 60 seconds. It does say all over and rare. Beautiful. Not sure if I need to do this part too, but again, I interpret all over as every part. So and I'm gonna remove from heat. Do the same on the other side. Okay. I would say that is brown all over. Okay, we are on to step number 3, which is finely chop the mushrooms. And I'm going to use this little chopper that I have. I have already cleaned these mushrooms, and the recipe calls for a pound of mushrooms. So I'm just going to use this whole pack of mushrooms. And I'm going to put on top on. Okay, I have finely chopped the mushrooms. And the next step is to fry in a hot pan with olive oil, thyme, and seasoning. So we have our hot pan over here. We're just letting it warm up, and then we will fry the mushrooms. The directions also call to season, and the seasonings that are provided on the recipe is just salt, pepper, and thyme. So that's what I'm going to season the mushrooms with. I have the salt. I just added some pepper. Now we'll take some salt and some thyme. That's the seasonings that are listed. I'm gonna give them a stir. Still looks like it has water in it, so I don't think they're done yet. We'll be back in 10 minutes. I'm gonna roll it out. And it says cut pastry in half. I'm gonna use my knife that was sent to me from Target, and I'm gonna cut it in half. Ah, look at that beautifully straight line. Beautiful. Okay, the Parma ham, also known as prosciutto, when I did a Google search. So cut pastry in half on surface and place 4 slices of Parma ham in the middle, slightly overlapping. So 1 slice, slightly overlapping. 2, 3. Oh my God. Thinking about like all the people that have worked for Gordan Ramsay, I know that they have prepared some beef Wellingtons. And look at me preparing a beef Wellington, Gordan Ramsay style. Now, Gordan, if you're watching this is my first time ever making a beef Wellington, and I've heard it on your show so many times, but I have never tried one. So this is my first interpretation of a beef Wellington ever. We have now completed the next step, so we can move on. Okay, so the next step that we are to do is to spread the duxelle onto the Parma ham. So I'm gonna use half of it on this one, and then I'll use half of it on the other one. And it said it should be like a paste, so I can see that the mushrooms are a little more pasty. Spreading. Put one on this one. Okay, we're just going to evenly distribute. Beef Wellington. Doesn't say get it on the pastry, it says get it on the Parma ham. So let's get that off of there. Watching Hell's Kitchen, how fast they have to prepare these. Oh my gosh, kudos to you. Okay, so that's the next step. I have to review the recipe to see what to do next. Okay, so the next step is we need to place the beef on top. Oh, I should have came from this way. Place the beef on top. Ooh, they're so chunky. Okay. And it says to season the meat. So I'm going to season the meat with the seasonings that are listed on the recipe, which is just salt, pepper, and thyme. Okay, and then it says use film to roll ham over the beef roll and tie to get a nice log. So I realized I was supposed to put the cling wrap down underneath the ham as I reread the directions, but since I have it this way, I am going to just try my best to keep going and make a way to get this done. So I'm going to roll out some of the cling film, and I need to get this meat over to the beef. So let's see if I can do it. This is where that cling wrap comes in, I see. But I'm going to try to gently roll it without messing up the pastry too much. And we need to get it rolled into a log. So I'm just going to roll the ham free-handed right now. And then when I get the cling wrap, I can tighten it up. I have to work it a little backwards because it was supposed to go down first. That's okay, we got to keep going. We're not going to let that stop us. Just work through it. Take your time because you don't want to mess up your pastry. Oh my god, if I was in Hell's Kitchen right now, I'd be sweating because you gotta like hurry up. Oh yeah, that's a good idea right there. It's just gonna be like that. There we go. I'm gonna try to like paste it. This ham is kind of sticky. It's very thin too. Okay. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this foil wrap. I'm gonna go the long way. Remember, this needs to be tight, so just try to pick it up that way. I don't want it to come undone. See if I can get it to backwards with it. Yep, there we go. There we go. Let's pick this up. Get inside. Clean this up. I'm using the knife because my fingers can't grab it. And I want to be gentle on the pastry. Try not to waste any product. Okay. There we go. And it just calls to wrap it tightly. So I'm going to wrap it very tight like a burrito. Boom. And that, folks, how you do. And you keep going. Even if you mess up a little bit, use your thinking cap. Roll that bad boy nice and tightly into a log. And chill for 30 minutes. Okay, so I went back and I put some flour down and put the pastry dough on the floured surface. Okay, we are back. The meat logs have chilled for 30 minutes and we need to brush our pastry with egg wash. Oh, I'm gonna kind of measure it out. Okay. I'm gonna go about like right here. Brush the pastry with egg wash. I'm not sure if I've ever worked with pastry before, so it's actually kind of fun. Okay. Okay. So remove the beef from the cling wrap and place it in there. Ooh, perfect. Sized out nicely. Okay. Then we are going to wrap around the pastry. Let's move our egg wash out the way. Give ourselves some room. I'm going to try to wrap it. I'm assuming we're probably going to like cut the excess off. So I'm just going to try to wrap it around tightly. We are going to cut the excess off. And wrap around. Maybe. This is going to have egg wash go all over it. So we trimmed the pastry, and now we are going to rub it with egg wash. Okay. I don't want it to be. Make sure that mine is tightly clumped in. So we're going to chill these for 30 minutes. All right. We have 3 minutes, 45 seconds left for our meat to be in the fridge. So I'm going to start the red wine sauce now that I have my shallots chopped. And I'm using the same pan that I seared the beef in. Cook the shallots until they are brown. And we also need to add in the thyme, the olive oil, shallots, peppercorns, bay leaf, thyme, a splash of red wine, 750 milliliters of wine, and 3 1/4 cups of beef stock. So my shallots are actually just about done. I went to the store and I could not find a sprig of thyme after the Thanksgiving holiday, so I'm just going to use my dry thyme, and the recipe calls for a bay leaf, 12 peppercorns. I'm going to try my best to do about 12 of them. A splash of red wine, a splash of red wine vinegar, oh, that red wine vinegar smells good. Okay, and then it calls for 3 1/4 cup of beef stock, which we have on deck. So I'm going to quickly measure that out. And I'm going to place that beef stock right here. I'm going to go ahead and add the wine in. I'm letting the sauce simmer in. I really didn't realize how big of a recipe this was going to be, and I could see why it takes a team to do this recipe and why Gordan Ramsay is like pretty serious about it. But this has been like such an experience, and I'm glad that my inner chef and the person that loves to cook so much can show and shine in this recipe. And I'm very proud. I know that those that love me are proud. And okay, first off, let's close that so I don't bonk my head. I'm going to give that a stir. And now is when we need to add in the beef stock. So we did already add in 1 cup. So it needed 3 1/4 cup of beef stock. So we added the 1/4 cup, and we already added 1 cup. So we just need to add in 2 more cups of beef stock. Try to make this as close as possible. I didn't realize it was going to make this much sauce. But I think a lot of it is going to boil down. So, alright. It's now time to strain the sauce. It has simmered for 1 hour, and I stirred occasionally and skimmed the top. So now it is to strain through a muslin cloth or civi cloth, I think is what it says in the instructions. Now that the sauce is prepared, we can cook the Wellington. Finally, it says to rub with egg wash again, so that's what we're going to do. Oh, and it said to score. I'm not sure if I should have scored first, but let's just make sure that we do it. I seen this done with a small knife, so we're going to do it with a small knife. Move this forward. I'm just going to go across. Okay. And we're going to brush with the egg wash again. I'm going to do the same thing. Take our burrito and score it across. Looks like a little burrito. I'm going to try to use up the remaining of my egg wash so that way I'm not wasting anything. You don't want to waste stuff. Oops, I'm going to clean that up. Now we're going to bake at 400 degrees for 15 through 20 minutes until the pastry is golden brown and cooked, and it has to rest for 10 minutes. Okay, you guys, look at it. They are all done. This is what they look like freshly out the oven. Now it needs to rest for 10 minutes before slicing. There it is. It's so beautiful. I'm so proud of this. My first beef Wellington. And it is gorgeous. Yeah, Gordon Ramsay would be proud of this beef Wellington. Beef Wellington from Chef Blast Culinary Wars by Gordon Ramsay.